So the thing that didn't click the first time is that going up and down have 2 different sound effects.
Yes, down and up sound different. Down is, up is, and there's even more. If you hover over something with a little prompt that comes up, you get...
The sound of it going down when the TV volume's at like 75 like it just was, it really feels like somebody is like probing your brain. It feels like somebody has like a rubber mallet and is tapping your skull with it.
Okay, so when I paused the game, Elena said something, "Oh my god," and ran off. And I'm afraid she might be about to cause troubles, but I'm going to give her a shot and see what she's up to, and if not, I'll hit restart checkpoint.
Okay. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is.
Okay, never mind. We're good.
Don't let them get past.
I still screwed it up. That was my fault. I stood there talking too long, so I screwed it up. It was my fault, because this guy, if he moves too far, you can't do this. You have to approach him slowly enough, but he can't have gone far enough into the stage yet. There we go.
Uh-oh.
You don't get, the later games have stealth as a pretty big component. And in this game, it is very hard to do stealth takedowns and stuff.
So that's like potentially the one place that you got to show it all.
I'll probably be able to do it a couple more times, but not many, and I knew that I could do it there at least once.
They're shooting at you too, you know.
You have a new gun.
I do. I have an AK-47 now.
A what?
An AK-47.
I don't think I've ever seen one of those before.
I know. I've never seen one of those in a video game before either. So yeah, this is also an aspect, is that some of the climbing stuff is incorporated into the game, because when you're hanging, you can use your sidearm.
Here they are.
Go ahead and pop people. That's actually the most effective form of cover in this game, because Drake barely pulls himself up, and he goes back down pretty quickly. That's one of the most reliable actual aspects of cover in this game. But yeah, there's a trophy in this game for getting...
Oh, that feels meaty, or it sounds meaty anyway.
There's a trophy in this game for getting 100 stealth kills. And
God.
I had to literally, what I figured out was, I was like, okay, there's this encounter where I can reliably get 2 stealth kills at the beginning, maybe 3 if I'm really good, and I just did that over and over again and reloaded checkpoint.
3 kills, restart.
Yes.
3 kills, restart.
I don't know how many I had at the beginning, but it was probably like less than 20, and I just did that for a long, long time.
The jump is really floaty.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, it's floaty sometimes.
Well, yes.
Because it always decides to do
the
different
standard jump is
things.
Floaty.
I see him.
One thing I will say that I was a bit surprised by, I don't know if it's like, because I haven't, so I guess as a point of reference for everybody, I played this game, like I said, this previous summer, just kind of for funsies, while I made a video when I made the Platinum, so you guys can actually go see when I did this for the first time, that approximate time period of it.
Is that the video you had where you were on the boat?
Hmm?
You released like a 10-minute video on the boat. Was that this game?
Yes, that was this game. Okay. Rather a Sea-Doo, but we'll see more of that later.
An aquatic vehicle.
An aquatic vehicle.
So it's R1 to reload in this game, not
yes.
like square. Oh yeah, because square is melee, right?
That's correct.
Triangle is all the other melee.
Triangle is
in a combo.
Triangle is in a combo for brutal hit, but for the most part, it's for interact. It's pick things up, move things, etc. The control scheme does change a little bit throughout the series, but not a ton. Now, what was I saying? I was going to say something a second ago about. Okay, yeah. So one thing that surprised me when I was playing this game originally was the scarcity of ammo in spots, which it may not seem like that right now, but I found myself running out of bullets fairly frequently, or at least being forced to, not to the point where it's like, okay, now it's a melee game, but to the point of I have to change my weapon now. Like, I have to pick up something new.
Just keep your head down.
Maybe it's just that I haven't played the other games in a while, because when I was, like I said, when I did this over the summer, I played this game, but I did not replay the other ones. My brother went through all of them, and I watched him play them. Like, we hung out for a while, and he played them, and I watched it, but I didn't set my hands on any of them more than, like, other than very briefly, so like those kinds of details about the gameplay, I just kind of don't recall myself right now. But you can see, like, the enemies in this game, for the most part, aren't like huge bullet sponges, and headshots are usually pretty effective. So the higher difficulties, where it's like, your damage output is halved, really isn't like this crippling thing where the experience becomes like bad.
Yeah.
It's honestly pretty fine.
I guess
hold on, stop. Ah, crap. So enemies will pull out grenades and you can see them doing it. And I mean, this isn't new. You can see this in plenty of different shooters.
Yeah.
But it is very much in this game. The enemies do a kind of pronounced, like, I'm pulling out a grenade now animation. And if you can spot it, you can be pretty quick and shoot it out of their hands. And I guess since I mentioned before, yes, you can make those pots fall apart.
Yay.
If not, they work as they were. Oh, I still have this on. So let me explain what just happened there.
You got shot.
No, what just happened there was I pressed down on the D-pad because I've been playing a bad video game called Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, and you tried to switch shoulders.
Do you remember so in most, there's a lot of times in video games where you go to play a new game, right? And it has a weirdo control scheme and it throws you off, right? Because you're used to the normal thing.
Yes.
But because Star Wars Battlefront 2 was available for free on PlayStation Plus a while ago, and I've given it a shot and I've been playing it, and it's fine. It's enjoyable, I guess. I've had fun with it. But it has some really weird control scheme decisions. And down on the D-pad, which there it says I can't photo mode while I'm ADS. Down on the D-pad to shoulder swap is possibly one of the most awkward placements of that type of option I've ever seen, because like you have to take your fingers off the stick, or you have to take one of your other, like your pointer finger off of the triggers to hit down. Like you have to completely disable your ability to use part of your control scheme to do that.
So what is it?
It's click in on the left stick.
Oh, that's easy enough.
Yeah, that's what it is in most third-person shooters that I've played, at least.
I don't have a ton of experience with FPSs.
This isn't
FPS.
John.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, you don't have any. It's true. You have very little experience. It seems.
It seems
embarrassing yourself over here.
I don't think Mass Effect has a shoulder swap.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't played that one physically. That's another one that Joshua was playing a while ago, and I watched him play a good chunk of it, but I did not play it myself.
Yeah, to make this topical, they recently announced the Legendary Edition that they're going to be coming out with. It's going to be fun to play those games again, but they didn't say anything about the multiplayer, which only me and probably 4 other people in the world care about.
Actually, a lot of people apparently cared about that Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
It's one of those things I was telling them where if there's not going to be any multiplayer, it's a game that I'll pick up sometime when it's a little cheaper. Yeah. And it's like if they did announce multiplayer, while I'm not going to, I would be willing to pre-order it right now. I would be willing to, because I want that so much.
Well, I do seem to attract the scum of the earth. No offense.
None taken.
Do you have a good memory?
Yeah, why?
UK 2642. You got that?
Yeah, what is it?
It's Kriegsmarine coordinates. I think I know where the Spanish took El Dorado.
El Dorado?
Problem is, so that the bastards killed Sully. Damn it! If the Spanish found the treasure, they had to move it there, to that island. And Drake followed him.
Well, what are we waiting for? I'll get the story, and you get whatever it is you're after. Come on.
Hey, this isn't gonna be a vacation, you know.
I can take care of myself. Besides, you owe me one.
I suppose I do.
He is very dirty, and she is not.
Well, he's been out here longer than she has. She took a car here, apparently, and we hiked.
Fair.
I gotta say, I absolutely love the pathetic camouflage that Elena put over that car.
Oh, yeah. The lights were on.
Yeah, I don't know, I don't know if that was supposed to be like they fell on the car while she was gone, or if it was camo. If in my head, I imagine the mocap actors like imagining, camo mesh over, and that's what they're grabbing and ripping off, and then the animators just make them pick up these big leaves and throw them away. Anyway.
Trail of the lost treasure of El Dorado, and it's brought us here to this tiny island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Let's get a closer look.
Let's not get a closer look at that. You need to zoom on out.
With that being said, we zoomed in on his face there. It's just, I think it's worth recalling time period wise in terms of like big exclusives. And I don't in any way want to sound like I'm about to disparage the Halo series, because I love Halo. But think about, like, this is around the same time period as Halo 3, which I have to assume had like triple the budget of this game probably. And think about the human faces in that game compared to the human faces in this game.
Boy, they look bad. I'm sorry. I love Halo 3. I love the Halo series. Always have. But man, what's his name? The big like admiral in it.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
His name. I think it's 4 letters, but Oh my gosh, he looks like a husk in that game. He looks like a zombie. It's
The only
awful.
the only human in that game who gets out looking pretty well in the other is Johnson. Black don't crack. It's impossible to make Johnson look bad.
Yeah, he really is like the only one.
Forgotten colony and a fortune in Spanish gold? Or does the island have darker secrets in store for us?
That should keep him from changing the channel.
I think it's cute that she says that, and that scene is kind of like. It's that was in the trailers, right? That was the trailer for the original game. Was look, she's explaining the plot of the game, but it's like but whatever. It's fine. It's really noticeable though.
What the hell was that?
An anti-aircraft fire?
Excuse me?
Wait a minute, why?
Boy, this game is just a mile a minute.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Because this is the kind of game you'd expect it from, right?
Do they even have parachutes?
Now would be a good time to look.
I'm gonna say, it's good to have parachutes, but you shouldn't really be surprised because these things aren't meant to be in areas where you're just gonna get shot out the sky.
It's true.
Of course. You just jump, count to 5, and pull the cord. Now go!
Are you coming?
Kind of busy right now. Get going.
See you on the ground?
Right behind you!
Yeah. Okay.
What am I doing?
It's a good question. I was gonna say, you're not really doing a whole lot.
It's keeping it steady, I guess. But no, I mean, I agree. It is, you know, kind of questions it.
Count to 5. Pull the cord.
It's a hectic situation. He wasn't thinking clearly.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not in that situation.
Oh, crap.
Uh-oh.
There's also just like there's a lot of good editing in this as well, which I mean, I guess like that's like you've seen Naughty Dog games, like there's a couple of weird moments in The Last of Us that like are not normal for video games, which is cutscene is going on, cut to another location. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because like either you gotta load the location, or why not have the characters walk there? But there'll be like match cuts to exteriors and stuff like that. It's just I don't know. I guess it's silly to talk about, but I appreciate the not that everything is always perfect in these games, but there is a commitment to trying to actually put these scenes together pretty well.
Elena's missing. Most likely dead. That's great. It's a great start, Nate.
Uh-oh. He left his ancient map on the plane.
Oh,
what an
no.
idiot. Well, at least I have treasure.
Hey,
Alrighty. I guess that's fine. I'll take it.
it's like a bobblehead, but ancient.
I like this framing too. This is a little, again, like he wakes up there and the angels are looking at him about to stab him to death. It's funny. There's good little stuff here. But hey, some kind of stuff built on this island, you know?
Yeah.
And that certainly looks European. That angel. This ironwork here. Oh, what do I have to do?
Oh man, you gotta shoot the thing.
What do I do?
Shoot the thing and have the bullet actually not break
I
it
don't know
and
how to get
potentially
through
ricochet
this.
back at you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so just to protect myself from that, I'll just stand all the way over here. There we go. Now it's
You
fine.
did it!
So that was really holding it to I don't think that lock was really relevant in the big scheme of things. You know what it was? The first couple of kicks loosened it. If I kicked it
Yeah,
one more
you're
time,
right.
it would have fallen over, right? Also, if we swing by over here, pretty sure there's one hiding over here
Oh my
too. Yep.
gosh.
Ah,
Ooh.
fish charm. I like that better,
Oh my
actually. I like this
gosh.
fish.
Just like the pictures on the back of all the cars around here.
That's cute.
The Jesus fish.
I'm familiar. Ah, take a little bath.
Well, I wasn't sure if the people from heathen areas knew what I was talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. Those are around. They're not on every car in other parts of the world, but they're on a lot of cars. All right. My t-shirt was all white and nice and clean a
It
minute ago,
was,
and then I went for a swim, and Though I don't think it progressively gets dirtier as you go through this level or anything like that. I think it kind of jumps to the dirtier state pretty quickly, if I recall correctly, even without the water happening to you. Anyway.
I mean, you did fall out the sky and hit some trees on the way down.
It's true. There's an excuse, I suppose. But it is nice that he's wearing the fresh white shirt in the plane. He bothered to swing by the dry cleaners before they. I guess it was a t-shirt. He doesn't have to go to the dry cleaners. Whatever. So I guess we're talking about this since I mentioned that I would talk about it later. I guess now would be a decent time to talk about costume design really quickly.
Shoot the bird. No.
Toucan Sam, come back. He's gone. So this is something that I think we actually talked about in the Jedi Fallen Order playthrough a little bit. In terms of the way that this guy's designed and the way that the characters in this game are designed in general. This is Sony's marketing department had a really hard time figuring out how to sell this game because Drake was too everyman, because it's just a dude in t-shirt and jeans, right? And like now, okay, I guess you shouldn't say now or whatever, because there's still plenty of weirdo characters in video games, and some people a lot of people's umbrage with the 7th gen, with PS3 360 era, was the generification of everything in the wake of Modern Warfare being the biggest thing ever, and then everybody aping Modern Warfare and trying to be it, and nobody being better. But anyway, similarly, you have in this game, we got Nate here, and he's just a dude with a long sleeve shirt on and some jeans and sneakers. His most defining feature is probably the fact that he has a belt buckle on. Yeah. Right? Like that's about it. What about? Oh, that's not.
Ooh, that's not it.
I've been using the whatchamacallit, Jedi Fallen Order camera mode, so I don't remember the control scheme for this camera mode anymore, because I've been using the Jedi Fallen Order camera mode to make thumbnails for that, because there's a bunch of episodes that where we're just Metroidvania-ing around and we have no cutscenes to use. But anyway, we talked about specifically in the Jedi Fallen Order playthrough, the tagline for this was "One ordinary man, one extraordinary adventure." But there's interviews, and also if you watch Retro Replay, which was the Let's Play channel that was Nolan North and Troy Baker. I don't think Troy Baker's a part of it anymore, but they went through these games, the two of them together, and they had other actors and other crew on every now and then. And in the last episode, they had Amy Hennig on, who was, like I said previously, director and writer on this. And she talked about a lot of difficulties that they had along the way of like trying to sell people on the game and what it was, because it was like, their last game was Jak and Daxter. And before that, they were making Crash Bandicoot, and other big PlayStation exclusives are like Twisted Metal and God of War and other nonsense. Yeah. So this is like dude in jungle with gun is so relatively low key that they had a really hard time kind of putting the whole thing together. But in terms of his actual design, just elements you're going to see as we go on here that are really like minor things, but it's what they wind up doing. His shirt is always half tucked. This is a very important aspect of the Nathan Drake look. His shirt is always half tucked in on one side. He has a different belt buckle in each of the games. What I was trying to figure out was how to zoom in, and I cannot figure out if there is a zoom button. I think maybe this is as close as I can get or something.
It's got a skull and crossbones, right? Well, swords, but
yeah, I guess this is as close as I can get. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a little. Yeah, skull and crossbones there, exactly. The gun holsters obviously, and the jeans and the t-shirt. And then he also has a little necklace there, you see. Yes. He's wearing some kind of ring around his neck, yeah. But anyway, we'll talk more about marketing and the rest of this game later. But first, we got to talk about another aspect. This is another reason why it was a good place to stop and talk about the original context of this game. See what I'm doing here, walking across this log?
Yes.
He doesn't seem to be falling off, right? If I push left or right... Oh, okay. He did fall, but I had to really push it there, right?
Yes.
Whoa, 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 whoa! I'm just going to go ahead and drop down, actually, so we can see this animation.
Oh, his legs were made of paper.
Watch this. Fine.
Of course you are.
It's just you're falling from there that kills you, right? Because in the original version of the game, that was a balance thing that you did with the Sixaxis. For those who don't know or remember what the Sixaxis was, it's a frog. You ever see a frog, kid?
I could have that on my shelf. I like frogs.
The in the original game, back in the PlayStation 3, the motion sensing thing with the PlayStation 3 was the Sixaxis control scheme, which was inside of the DualShock, where you could tilt it left and right and up and down, forward and backward, and side to side to do gyro control stuff, right?
Yep.
This was mostly very poorly implemented. The only game that I ever played it in that I generally liked it was you could use Sixaxis to fly the plane in Warhawk. which was fun and responsive, but I would not recommend it for competitive play of Warhawk. There was also Factor 5, who used to make the Rogue Squadron games, among other things. They went out of business in part due to a major PlayStation 3 launch title called Lair, which was a aerial combat game where you rode around on dragons.
Oh, that's the game. Yeah. I was hoping you were going to bring that one up.
And it had a normal control scheme with normal buttons and sticks and everything, but Sony needed something to push the Sixaxis, so they basically ordered them to put in a Sixaxis control scheme and make it the only thing you could play the game with. It had a normal control scheme.
And they had to... They
patched out, or rather that they released the disc version without.
Oh, yes.
To the point that critics got early copies of the game and they were reviewing it, and they knew what had happened because, you know, they're in the industry and they've heard things, right? There were people who wrote letters to Factor 5 saying, please patch in. I'm sure they did understand. They were saying, listen, we don't want to give this game a terrible review. We don't want to do this. Please patch in the normal controls for us to do this. And so Factor 5 apparently contacted Sony and explained that this was happening. And Sony's response was to write up a how-to-play guide for Lair and mail it to the critics who had received copies of Lair. Anyway, so in the original game, when you got to this, you had to tilt the Sixaxis back and forth to keep Drake from falling off. There we go, boom. That happens, I think, maybe 4 times in the game. But we're going to talk about more Sixaxis in just a minute here. So
cover. Is this bad cover?
This is pretty bad cover, yes.
Yes, it is. Now, who are these people?
I don't know. I don't know who these people are.
They are not a fan of us, it seems.
I guess they followed I was about to say they could have followed the smoke, but no, we found them with the parachute. The plane is over there somewhere. We saw the smoke on the horizon a second ago.
They could just be combing the area.
There we go. Balance across the thing again.
For something else.
Now, to be fair, I've only played the game in this version, so it's possible there are more points where the balance minigame was played in the original that I'm not aware of, because in this version I just, walk across. Yeah. But I don't think there are even all that many spots in the game that use that mechanic. Now, I don't know why it's giving me the prompt here when I could just shoot the guy, but that's okay. Anyway.
I liked the gun spinning like that. That looked good.
Oh, yeah, there's good physics in some of these games sometimes.
Now, you got grenades.
Yeah, I got some grenades now, right? Now, guess what?
What?
I'm gonna now throw a grenade. I hold down L1 and a little throw arc appears, right? And I can let go to throw it. Alternatively, I can aim. Oh, I can do what I just did there, which was not release the button fast enough, and he just kind of blind throws it. You can also, when aiming down sights, you can press the grenade button, and Drake will throw a grenade in the general direction of the guys that you're looking at, right? Which I will demonstrate in a second. In the original game, when you held down L1, you did not aim up to extend the range, or aim down to exchange the range, or aim left or right. You used the Sixaxis, and you tilted the controller forward or backward to increase or decrease the range, and left and right to turn Drake. Okay. So they introduced both of the major Sixaxis mechanics back to back in the original version of the game. But these are both gone now.
But here's a brain teaser for you. Here's a question, okay? Which mechanic is worse? Doing that for grenades, or sliding your finger up the touchpad to throw grenades?
Ugh.
I do not remember which game it was, but I played a game on PS4 that to throw grenades you had to slide.
It must have been within launch window.
It had to have been.
Because there's no way that anybody would design the game that way unless Sony was giving them money to do it. There we go. Planes in that direction. Alrighty. Now, let's head down here. This is the spot, by the way, where you can get 3 stealth kills if you are sneaky enough. Though it's not super duper easy, and I haven't done it in a while. Because these guys do move around and their sight lines change and they can spot you. They can get wise. Where'd that guy go? Crap. Oh, here he is. See, I've forgotten how to do this.
Woohoo! Ooh. Can he do it? Hey!
That guy will turn around if you do that any slower. But that doesn't matter because at this point you are detected and more enemies start spawning.
Yeah, well, you're good.
Yeah, it's fine. I did what I wanted to do.
3 for 3, baby.
So this is another weird aspect of the cover system of this game, is that in later games when you press O, you'll just roll out, right? In this game, you pretty much, if there's other cover around, you always snap to it. And sometimes that's not what you want to do. Sometimes you want to get out of cover. Like, I want to leave this cover. And so you try to roll, and especially if you play the later games, you might have a slight more expectation of, I'm going to press this to roll out of cover and get free. Which this game does not necessarily... See right there? See right there? Good. I'm glad I got a little bit of jank there, because it's hard to explain what it does sometimes, but Drake is, in this game, He has a bit of an addiction to walls.
I think people, like, gamers these days really take for granted, like, that most people have it figured out now.
Until you play a Rockstar game.
Oh, God. Don't remind me. The worst part about a Rockstar game is playing the Rockstar game. Everything else is pretty good. You want to know why first person is good on GTA 5?
Because it plays like a video game?
Yes. Every time I'm doing anything, like any high level difficulty mission or anything, it's like if I'm in combat, then I'll be third person. But the moment I have to do anything remotely close to precision movement, I have to throw it in first person. Because that's the only way it ever works. It's a dark time in my mind just to think that it wasn't always like that.
So there is some destructible cover in this game. This right here, it can get shot out if it gets shot enough, but grenades will also just remove it. When you see those like that kind of like cobbled together rock like that.
That's a new gun, isn't it?
Looks like he has a shotgun, which I'm going to now take from him. Oh no, someone's behind me.
Oh no.
Now there's also something else that's a weird little factor of this game that I'm going to try and demonstrate when I can. Of like, again, this game has some weird problems. I'm gonna try and blind fire at this guy. Watch where the bullets actually go when I aim the reticle at him. It doesn't seem like I'm hitting him. The bullets, when you shoot blind fire, you kind of have to aim like not quite center sometimes to actually get the shots to hit. They kind of miss sometimes.
I gotcha.
You have to aim off to the side occasionally. Did I see a guy behind this wall? I did.
Oh,
come on. You can do it, Nate.
You have to fire kind of like I was doing the other day. I mentioned that I was playing Borderlands 2 again. I have a character. There's a character in Borderlands 2, playable character named Gage, and one of the mechanics that you can get in one of her skill trees is the Anarchy Stacks mechanic, and it's every time you kill an enemy or you are forced to reload your gun without pressing the reload button by exhausting the ammo or anything like that, or a few other things, you get a stack. And for every stack you have, you do 1.75% damage and do 1.75% reduced accuracy. And I got 600 stacks of that the other day. And it was one of those things where it's like, you know when people say can't hit the broadside of a barn?
Yeah.
Actually, I remember I had a shotgun. It had 15 pellets. I aimed at the ceiling and I shot and I didn't see a hit.
Wild. Got another gold ring, Sully. Oh no, Sully! I forgot.
Oh no, Sully!
Oh man, I didn't. I should have given him the ring when I had the chance. So many regrets. Alas, with so many regrets, I'm dead. So there's an encounter through here, and they want you to, and you can shoot the wall. So this is just a little thing. You can kick this door open to get the encounter started.
Yeah.
But you can also, if you want, yeah, you can jump up here and get a little preview. Actually, I want to stand there. I want to dangle here.
Ooh.
Again, like I said, sometimes Nate has a bit of an addiction to walls, and sometimes he can really magnetize towards things in this game. It happens. To be fair, it happens in the other ones as well, but it happens quite a bit in this one.
Get him! Oh.
Wow, he withstood that actually like a champ. Here, this guy will not. There we go.
Okay.
Crap.
So how's the shotgun?
Good.
The test of the game is how good the shotgun is.
Good. Now, I will say that the shotguns are not as... Did you see right there what I did there?
Yes.
I was literally trying to dodge roll just in that direction. Over there to change where I was going. And I literally started to roll away, and then Nate pulled himself over to the broken wall here. See what I see right there? The bullets are hitting way to the left of where I'm aiming. Yeah, I find that it's better to aim slightly to the right of people you're trying to kill when you're blind firing in this game. Not always. It depends. It happens. Sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. Anyway. But yeah, it's a good thing that headshots are still pretty effective in this game, because often you do have these situations where people are just kind of barely poking their heads around.
Okay.
Like I said, I did find the crushing. I'm gonna call crushing critical a number of times, I'm sure.
It happens.
But I mean, they have kind of similar names. And they're both traditionally the hardest modes until remake added or remaster here added the meme mode of brutal.
I don't know if they continue to do this in the series, but some have never really. Well, I say never. I haven't seen since like older.
Oh yeah.
games.
Also, when you throw a grenade from behind cover, Nate takes 6 seconds to completely go around and expose himself. You saw that, right?
Yeah,
well, did he just slip? Oh no, he slid. He slid. That is one thing that I like about the AI in this game is they will they're quite acrobatic. They'll do the same rolls and jumps that you can do sometimes.
That's always fun.
Sorry, what were you saying a second
I was gonna
ago?
say it's weird. Like I look up at the top corner, and normally you have the ammo counter is extra ammo, and then you have just a visual like tick indicator for how many shots you actually have. But no, this is total.
Oh yeah, It's
It's
interesting.
It would take a little bit of getting used to. But yeah, I can see what you're talking about running out of ammo at sections, because this is
the fact is, and this is something that doesn't super duper change with later games in the series, is that often you are not carrying much more ammo than the gun can carry. Especially so, like with machine guns and pistols, you usually got a decent amount. Like you can be carrying several magazines at a time. With the shotguns, at most you can usually carry like maybe twice as much as it can load. In some cases, only like 1.5 times.
Right.
You usually don't have a ton of ammo actually. Okay. So, what was happening there? What was that jump about? I'm trying to jump to that platform, and Nate decided he was going to go somewhere else. Again, these pre-canned animations of the jumps and figuring out where you want to go get a little bit better in the later games.
I would imagine so. But I mean,
just,
that being said, it seems serviceable.
No, it's not. Fine. It's not bad. It's interesting because a lot of people criticize this game because it's not like, because again, it's being made by Naughty Dog, who made real platformers, and this is like at times barely qualifies as a platformer.
Not really a platformer.
And I do wonder because like some of the early concept art for Drake, he wasn't a cartoon character, but he was more cartoony. His hair was even more like kind of up, and he's just a lot of the art.
Somebody in the Dragon Ball Z live action movie.
Yeah. He looked a lot like Goku from the Son Goku from Dragon Ball Evolution. Yes, but. And just like art style in general and some of the old concept art was a little bit more like tongue-in-cheek and goofy and cartoony. So I do wonder how it was supposed to be, if it was supposed to be different at some point, and it kind of wound up with this slightly different style. Now, this is also the best shot, or I shouldn't say the best. This is the spot where I did it. I farmed out kills with, like multiple kills with one explosive weapon, where I just, since they have the opportunity to run away from grenades, I did it after I'd beaten the game and I could spawn a grenade launcher into my hands and then just shoot them.
Come on, we still don't know who these fellas are.
We still don't know who they are. No. We still got a little. So this is actually a stretch of the game that is, I think, kind of unique to this in terms of Uncharted, but very video game.
How are you shooting?
Huh?
How are you shooting him?
What do you mean? I'm shooting him with my gun.
Yeah. Okay. It's all right.
What do you mean, Joey?
Nothing. Anyway.
What do you mean, Joey? Like I said,
I can't tell if it's a trick of the light or what.
Sometimes it's better not to use the game's cover system. Anyway, I think one of those guys had a shotgun. Yeah, thank you. I need that. Awesome. But yeah, so something that's happening right now that the later Uncharted games are a bit better about, but this was very much like of the era and just of game design in general, is we are about to engage in like several levels in a row of very little narrative and just running through an environment, and there are dudes there to shoot at. Mm-hmm. I think there it is.
Jaguar.
A Jaguar.
That doesn't look like a Jaguar, but I'm sure it is.
Who knows? I mean, they don't know. That's what the archaeologists who found it said that it was. They could be wrong.
Right. You're right.
It could have been. It could have been a portrait of a cat. Somebody's cat.
Listen, that's not what Jet Jaguar looks like, and that's how I base all my stuff on.
Interesting.
Now, what is that? Cherry.
Curious. Alrighty. Those are like kind of older guns. You see that, right? These are clearly not modern. At least they don't look modern anyway to me. Perhaps I'm mistaken, though. You never know.
A collector's, an antique.
Now, this is something that there's concept art of this, where it's like the layout is even exactly the same. But here we go. Oh boy, this looks like some Crash Bandicoot nonsense. Okay, here we go. Let's play a video game, shall we, boys and girls?
If you fall into water, do you die instantly?
Well, let's find out. You know what? Let's give it a shot. What happens if you fall in the water?
I like that.
I was going to have to do that anyway. I was going to get a little bit further in, but since you asked. Yeah, so if you fall in the water here, it cuts to that wide shot, and you can hear in the way distance a little VO from Drake, and then he flies off the waterfall and dies.
I'm going to have to look up a death compilation of this, like in Dead Space.
Yeah, there's like I said, that's one of the things where like when I was saying things that I remembered really well a while ago that I might
all
not.
The unique deaths.
Yeah, I'm probably not all, but I knew a bunch, and I may forget some of them, but I did remember that one.
Oh yes, the video game thing of they're on a cliff and they have to fall off the cliff,
Absolutely.
so you shoot him in the head.
And I should. Where is he? Is he in the water? I should be able to see him.
He may have already floated past.
There he is. He's right there. See?
Oh.
He's at the bottom of that rock. I think he's about to get blown. He's about to get flowed past here. Because those guys do persist as physics ragdolls in the world usually. At least it looked like it.
Well,
Maybe I was mistaken. Maybe it's just a trick of the light.
Adios.
I can't turn the camera any lower at this angle right now. I can't go any lower. I can't go any higher. Rather, I can't go any higher than this right now. The camera is very selective about what it lets you do sometimes in this game.
He would grab that and just slip right on off.
Oh, absolutely he would. Oh, I did it anyway. He would have lived.
I was gonna say, movie logic dictates he would have lived. There could have been barracudas down there.
Absolutely. That's a different level altogether. Where he has to
are
fight
we
the
at?
barracudas.
It said somewhere in the Pacific, right?
Yeah, we're on some uncharted island. Get it? Ha ha ha! In the Pacific Ocean. Well, I guess clearly the Germans charted it. It was on a Kriegsmarine chart. I mean, at this point, I don't think there's anything in the world that's uncharted because we have satellite imaging, but there are places where maybe we haven't bothered to go and check them out. But I mean, clearly, clearly,
if we have like underwater, massive like cave systems,
something was here.
Yeah,
something was. Yeah.
An architecture was here.
This is like I was saying earlier that statue and the gate looked European. Whoa, Drake.
All right.
Okay, I want to make clear I was not touching the stick after I walked off the edge there. He just decided that he wanted to roll that direction.
Hey,
That's okay.
we all have to.
And then in gameplay, I have to jump, and he went too far, and he hits his head on the rock, and he falls to his death.
Oh.
No, let's try that again.
Oh, love it. I love these little relics of a few years ago.
You're not supposed to jump there. You're just supposed to walk off.
The game has no way of indicating that, though.
No, of course not.
Oh my gosh! I hope he's carrying lots of gunpowder up there.
What the? What will happen if I shoot this? I wonder.
Bingo. Oh.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Pardon me.
Wow.
It's so wacky.
Well, here's the thing. He's a history buff, but he's not an archaeologist. So you know what? I can't really blame him if.
Whoa, Drake! I was pushing up on the stick, buddy. I never changed direction on that one, pal.
I was gonna say I can't really blame. Uh-oh.
Get out of the water, Drake. Come on, Drake. Drake, do it.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now climb, Drake. Now get up. Get up. Get up.
Right. Oh well. I was gonna say I can't really blame him for his blatant disregard at all these.
No, to be fair, I would say, because Drake does generally in these games have a degree of respect for some of the stuff that he comes across, but it's like a within reason respect of yeah, but I'm not gonna waste my time preserving this thing when I could just be more likely to live.
Blow it up and.
Well, not even that so much. It's not like he intentionally goes out of his way to blow up historical relics.
He did in this game. So
no, that was the only way to get Sully through the wall, Joey. And then Sully died 10 minutes later.
Oh, no.
And Sully's legacy was leaving irreparable damage in a 2,000-year-old temple. And I believe there might be some more Sixaxis balance beaming right here, but I don't want to do that just yet. I want to go down here and get this sparkly first.
Get this Jade Jaguar. Silver Inca
sparkly.
Missile. Oh, and this is just the same cup, but now it's actually the original color.
I think there's different scratches on the bottom.
Really?
Let's go to that golden cup. Golden Inca cup. Yeah, look, this one has little scratch marks on the bottom.
Neat. They're not exactly identical.
Yeah, I don't know how much work was put into these, like on an individual model, but I don't know because I know they talked about that so a bunch of these were taken from photo references and stuff. I doubt they were able to, this is before photo scans to turn thing into, asset in digital world.
Wow!
I mean, that would have been crazy if I had to do a Sixaxis balance trick while I was on it. Oh yeah, this is a spot where I do recall playing. I did that because I've played the game now and I recognize it, but it took me a while to realize that this beam was these vines. Were video game when I played this the first time.
They look slightly different than the rest of the environment, but that's the only thing.
Hey, look, it's part of my plane.
Hey, it's just like Jurassic Park too.
Where's the rest of it though? That's not the part I needed. That's not where I kept my map. Oh, there's the rest of it.
Whoopsie. Do these guys even speak English?
I don't know. Have we heard them speak yet?
I don't think so.
Uh-oh, they're facing this direction now, which means they will probably spot me.
Shoot to kill.
Shoot to kill. They
so
speak
yes,
English.
they speak English. That would be more unusual if I knew what part of the world we were in.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We don't know who these guys are yet, like
No.
you said. I will point, if someone was eagle-eyed enough, they may notice that some of the models we're seeing right now are being repeated from the pirates that we ran into in the very beginning of the game. I don't think the implication is supposed to be that these are literally the same pirates, though. But these are, I believe they're at least they're using the same models as the guys that Nate identified as pirates.
I mean,
That's all I'll say for right now is that they do in fact recycle some models here.
Okay. I was gonna say if it was just a case of recycling, in a game like this, it makes sense to have reused enemies in a single section. That may or may not make sense otherwise.
There we go. Now, one aspect of you're asking if the shotgun is good or not. One way that the shotgun gets way better in the later games
Doesn't look good.
is that the blind fire mechanics get way better. To the point, especially in multiplayer, often, it's in single player too, honestly, it is better to not aim the shotgun a lot of the time in the later Uncharted games.
That's cool.
Like, if I'm within range of this guy, right, and I pull the trigger, then Nate just points the shotgun at the guy's head and blows him away. So you can do, like, especially if you have one of the later ones that's not pump shot, like it's semi-automatic shotgun, you can run in and boom, boom, and just hit people, like, repeatedly that way.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Murder is fun.
Sometimes. In video games, not in real life, kids.
Or is it?
Oh, look at that upper body strength. Not
Boy,
using
I
his
couldn't do
legs
that. I was gonna
at
say,
all.
not even.
But every video game character climbs the ropes that way. It'd be a waste of time if they climbed it the real way.
Didn't even break a sweat. They were up here, like, having no problems, but I'm sure since we're up here and this is the type of game it is, I'm sure it's gonna fall down.
Fortunate that didn't blow out.
Yes.
Thank you, I needed that.
Sweet.
Put it in your pocket right now. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Elena.
That's a building-ass building.
Yeah, and that's where her parachute is. We can assume that's where she landed. That's one where the Resident Evil camera angle actually does you a little bit of a favor, where you're sliding down that rope and the angle changes so you can see these guys approaching. Go away. Oh, come on, really?
That's always the worst, when it's like it's a shotgun and it's pretty clear that they should have been a headshot.
You never know. It was, like I said, the blind fire in this game is not as good.
You're right.
The blind fire in this game is just not as good.
The reticle,
you really
it's
cannot
just as bad
rely
when the
on
reticle
it.
lies to you.
You know what?
Get
I'm just
him.
gonna go ahead
Get
and
him.
here. Come on, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Stealth
Alright.
kill.
So
Completely lost track
I
of
was
me.
gonna say, so it's not a stealth kill, it's Halo logic.
Yeah, it's
you're
behind the
them.
behind the back. Yeah. Precisely.
I'm fine with that.
Here we go.
Ooh, whoa.
Whoa.
I thought they were gonna come from the other direction. I guess they wasn't quite finished with this half of the level. Part of why I came over here is because they do come from the other direction in a second here. And that's an aspect of this game that, I mean, I guess some people would prefer this because it's a bit more like, it's very video game. That's the thing, right? This is a real, you were calling it a video game-ass video game, right?
Yeah. I've been using that a lot more lately to describe games like Doom and this and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. There is, like I said, there's a pretty lengthy stretch here. Oh, hold on.
I see him.
There we go. Come on, guys.
He just phased right through it.
Gotta be kidding me.
There's a pretty lengthy stretch right here. There are other bits as well, but this part especially is like a just really long sequence of shooting galleries.
Yes.
Here, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. There we go. So that's if you throw the grenade while you're aiming. It's not as good in this game as it is in some of the later Uncharted games, where usually where you're pointing the reticle with the gun is usually, it's a pretty good indication of where the grenade's gonna go. But then again, I'm just used to the grenade physics in the other games, not as much in this one, because I haven't played it as much as others in the series. Oh, I did pick up more shotgun ammo. I'll keep using it for now, why not? I should really probably switch to the AK, but I don't mind.
He's over there.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Yikes.
So which way
Why?
going?
Okay. Why was this trap here?
Spooky. Alright, cool. Let's stop for a second. While we were talking earlier about the water in this game looking really nice, and this doesn't look bad, you can also see, especially when you look across the sea, where the texture's repeating itself really clearly. There's not like there's not really a physics simulation going on here. Obviously, it's a you can see the lines where the texture is repeating itself. But again, we got some nice skyboxes in this game. Yeah. I know I've drawn attention to that before, but like I said, I am drawing attention to the skybox for a little bit of a reason, actually. But anyway, move on here. Elena's parachute. So yeah, occasionally the game will give you those little prompts. That's not even really a hint. It's just kind of like, hey, check this out.
Yep.
Look at this. Check it out.
It's the cinematic hold the L3 button that you get in a lot of games these days.
Yep. Precisely. Drake. No, buddy.
I was gonna say he probably could have survived that if he was going into water, but that wasn't in the water.
Well, we get to see this happen again, though. Just hop over that. Actually, hold on. Let me just take the guy's gun. Hold on. I don't want to. Yeah. I don't know if it swings back or not. I doubt it.
I don't think it.
I don't think that's how most traps work, but sometimes it's better to be safe than sorry.
That's how you would actually get them, is you disable the first part of the trap, and then the second part.
Say it's the second part. They think they're safe. Ooh, don't stay there.
This game's a lot quieter than I would expect it to be.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, it's when you're by yourself, game's like, hey, it's time to just hang out and kind of feel. Oh right, you're not supposed to rear throw yourself. You're supposed to grab this upper lip. Game lets itself just kind of be environmental and hang out for a while.
And that's fine. It's just, once again, don't really know what I'm expecting too much with this game. I thought for sure that was gonna fall down.
So did I, and I've played this game. But sometimes it sets you up to look like... That's another thing where, like, playing... I remember distinctly playing Uncharted 2 for the first time, and like...
Bird Vessel. I love that.
I remember distinctly playing Uncharted 2 for the first time, and some, like, the collapsing things, getting to me and surprising me. And then when I played Uncharted 3, being like, oh, yeah, and then I'm gonna grab this thing, and it's gonna fall.
Get him.
That guy's looking right at... No, he's facing the other direction. Okay. That guy, he was not looking at me. That's fine.
Ooh.
Dead.
Got him.
All right, he says. Well, that guy still hasn't woken up. I'm gonna go kill him too. Sneaky, sneaky! Ah!
What the heck?
He has a grenade launcher. Oh no, I forgot. Do not throw the grenades around cover. It's an easy way to get yourself killed.
Oh no.
Throwing grenades. So in later games, when you throw a grenade around cover, he sticks his arm out and tosses it.
Yeah, like you would.
Like you would expect, instead of exposing his entire his whole dumbass body. But I guess it's because of the Sixaxis, right? The animation of him moving his arm, of how long he's gonna throw it.
Ugh.
Oh, come on, you.
Oh no.
Yikes.
Okay.
All right, now.
Most grenade launchers are slow in games, but that one's like a rail gun being fired.
Let's just hang out back here for a second where I'm slightly safer.
When you get shot, I'm not seeing any blood come off of you.
Me? No. Well, actually, so that's interesting.
So I was gonna say, I had heard before that, is it not that it's supposed to be an indication of his luck or something like that?
So supposedly, when Nate gets hit, it's not actually that he's just super duper strong and can withstand a dozen bullets. It's supposed to be that his luck, his Indiana Jones luck, is running out, which is another. I mean, they've never referred to it that way, but it's also you watch Indiana Jones and those types of movies, and it's like just people fire at the hero and just hit every molecule around them except for them. And it's that kind of thing, which I think is kind of cute. It's never expressed directly in the game, but it's it is there, and it's kind of fun.
Ooh. Oh, I like that animation.
What, the reload on it?
Yes.
Oh crap.
Oh no.
Go ahead and get that out of there. There you go, thank you. I'm gonna pick this back up and just... There we go.
I can't believe that actually killed him.
He had already taken... That's the thing, damage on enemies tends to persist pretty decently in this game, which is why, in these games I should say, which is why you can do stuff where it's like, I'm gonna pepper this guy a little bit with the bullets, and then I'm gonna go punch him in the face.
Oh yeah, there goes that cover you were talking about earlier.
Yep, and that's all I got out of that one. I'm also got no pistol. I think I may switch to the AK now, because there's a lot of AKs sitting around, and nope, no. Back to the AK, thank you.
That's the thing is with games like this where I've played where they're not a bullet sponge, it's like, okay, I'm going to pick a machine gun, but one that's fairly accurate, and it's like I can just pop heads.
I will say that generally these games don't have you doing a lot of picking between like the specific types of weapons. Usually there is the assault rifle, the pistol. There's usually around the midway point of these games there will be like the better versions of the weapons start showing up, but it's going to be better assault rifle, better shotgun, better pistol. There's not usually a ton of like weapon variety. It's just like you pick the type that you want, really.
Yeah.
The play style more so than the like. Oh, I like the rate of fire on this one or the whatever else. I can't climb that. Now, I think, if I recall correctly, and you trigger one of these traps, I already triggered that one with a grenade launcher. If you trigger one of these, you do get an opportunity to dodge with the O button. You get a little prompt of a quick time event to dodge around it, so it doesn't just one-hit you.
So that means, like, if you know it's coming, you can just go through those freely.
Yes. And I think... Is there treasure up here? Yes, there is.
I was going to say, it wouldn't have been this way if there wasn't, probably. Oh, another one of those.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely some palette swaps on things that are in there, but there are also a lot of also a lot of new things that appear along the way. Well, we made it to the base of whatever this place is, and I think that's going to be a good spot to end this particular episode. We're moving a little bit faster than we were previously, but I also freely acknowledge that this is the Resident Evil camera angle has decided it wants to show me this rock face, and I can't see where Nate is anymore. Here, I'm gonna walk.
Oh
this
wait,
direction.
I thought that was cutscene.
Nope, that's Resident Evil camera angles.
Okay, well. It looked like a cutscene.
Because this is the dramatic entrance to the next level.
You have to be kidding.
They want to show us. They want to show us the path and say,
Fortress.
Well, you know what? That's great. We just picked up bonuses. So we'll start the next episode out. We'll look at the concept art we have so far, and then we'll hop into this next level here. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good to me. All right. See you guys next time.